And that's all. We're done with this one. So now let's go back into our sword and shield. Now here we can finally start setting up some stuff because we have everything we need. So at our begin play, we're going to call this. We're going to get our item name. And we're going to set the text. And the text we're going to set it to is our item name. Hold on, wait a second. Did I call the right thing? Not test. Text. Set text. Let's do it here. This is what I meant to call the set text in the content. So set text, not here, but the content set text. That's what we need. Thought I was tripping for a moment. Then we need to put in our item name. Then after that, we need to get our pickup enum. We need an actual variable. Get it, switch. And based on, because we're not going to create a second one, there's no need. But if this is a sword and a shield, it's going to say two different things. So we're going to go with the shield. And if it's a shield, we're going to get the item info, set text, again, the content. So for the shield, we need to just do this. Format text. We're going to do, for me, DUR, durability, or duration, or however you want to, whatever, blah. And then put in a squiggly bracket. I don't know the correct name for that. Then I'm going to do dir. Boom. And I'm going to connect that to our shield duration. And that will format that for us just fine. So next we're going to do the same thing if it's for the sword. So duplicate. Actually, we can duplicate all of this. Duplicate. I did Control D to duplicate. Sword. Item info connected here. And this time we need to type this in. Attack dash squiggly line. Attack squiggly line. Then speed dash. And the speed is going to work for us. I'm going to make it where certain items make the swing animation play slower. That's how that's going to work for us. Speed. So now we're going to put in our text right here. Oh, wait, did in the wrong one. Attack strength and then attack speed. On delete. Boom. There we go. Compile and save. I believe we're all good here. Is there anything else I'm missing? Oh, yeah. We got to actually set up the functionality of it because right now it's going to do nothing. So let's go here. Also, when we start, we need to change the visibility to just false right out the gate as soon as it's spawned in. And I forgot, instead of world, we're going to change it to screen. Then check draw at desired size. Then compile save. Cool. And we need to move it up some too. Let's move it up the location 100. We'll go with 100 for now. All right, I'm back. Now we need to call our function, our sword and shield function. We need the event though, the event sword and shield function. So now this is where most of the logic is going to occur right here. So we're going to promote this to a variable. And now we're going to need to get the controller. Because we want it for us to determine which side should fill up, we need to know what controller we have. So let's get the display name. And I'm doing it like this because the name should either be get controller 0 or it's going to say get controller or player controller 1. Unless I'm tripping, but that's what it should say. So once I get a second controller and we fully test this, we're going to be able to determine. Because I don't have my second controller on me at this moment. So we're going to promote that to a variable. We're going to say controller name right here. And we need to also do a branch from this stop. Because if that's true, we need to change this. Oh yes, we need one more variable. Duplicate this float. Interact time. This will control how long we should be waiting, or how long they should hold the button to pick it up. So once it's true, we're going to set this to 0. Now, if this is saying we should stop, then obviously we need to reset our interaction time. So that's going to be 0. And also we need to check if the player, get player. Now, even if it's not called to stop, if the player is still holding the button and he's not calling stop, we need to check if it's still overlapping. Because if it's not, then we need to go ahead and stop. That's going to be a reference to ourselves. So now if that's false, we're going to check and see if we're still overlapping. If we're not overlapping, we can kill it again. And from here, we're going to need to get our controller name, get switch on string. And the names, like I said, should either be player controller 1 or player controller 0. It shouldn't be nothing else. Player controller zip. And a new one. Player controller uno. And so we need to get our ass, sword, and shield widget reference. We need to set player 1 progress to 0. And if it's the other one, set player 2 progress to 0. Because they may both be trying to hold the button at the same time. So this logic should work out. Even though I wasn't able to test it with 2 controllers, this should work out. So now we need to finish our true statement. So if it's true, we need to get interact time plus 0.1. Then we're going to set it. Boom, boom, boom. And now we need to call a sequence. We need to call a sequence. Get controller name. Switch on string. Actually, let's call this one again. Let's call this again. Copy. Paste. That way I ain't got to type all that over again. So as our sword and shield reference. Now we need to check, obviously, we're doing this because we need to check which controller is calling it. If both is calling it, it'll still run both, and each one will get set. So if both players are interacting with it, you'll see both bars filling up, and then whoever fills it up to the top will pick up the item first. Or we'll pick up the item, period. So set player 1 progress. And we need to get our interact. I just thought about something though. I just realized something. I actually just realized something. This would cause a problem. Because if both players, even if it's trying to see which controller is doing what, if it checks that, it'll call both. All right, I just saw that. Actually, I just thought. I'm glad I thought about it. Hold on, we need to do this. Hold on, we need to separate this. Player 1, and we need to make another one for player 2, because they're both going to reference the same float regardless. And then if the player was to, I'm glad I thought about that. If player 1 was to have it halfway or 3/4 full, if the second player interacted with it at the same exact time, his bar would jump to that amount. By the way, I have it set up. I just realized that, and I'm glad I caught that. So let's duplicate this. On the fly, troubleshoot, fix. Player 2. So we're gonna switch this. We're gonna switch this up. So let's do this. Both of these can go here. Both of these can go here. Then set the player 1 interact time to zip and the player 2. No, wait. Oh, I made a mistake. set. We're going to set them both to 0. So now here we need to switch this up. We need to get rid of this. I'm making a change on the fly, so you might hear me thinking a lot. We need to go here. We need to do this. Forget the sequence. We're gonna go straight to here. And we need to check, depending on which one called it, we need to do, let's start with player 1. Get player 1 plus 0.1. And we're gonna set player 1 interact time. Oh wait, set it right here. Set this. And then we need to set this to this divided by our time, which we're going to say 2.5. Boom. Now we're cleaning it up. And now we're going to do one last check right here. Branch. On the fly change. With this, if it's above or equal to 2.5, we're going to go through the next process, and I'll show you what that's going to be. We'll stop right here. So now we're going to duplicate all of this, except for this. We don't need to duplicate this. Let's duplicate all of this. Duplicate, Control D. And let's clean it up a bit. So down here, we're going to change this to our player 2 stuff. Change it to player 2. Change this to player 2 as well. Move it over. Change this to player 2. Move it over. Change this to our player 2 progress. Player 2 progress. Set it. Delete, delete, delete. Set this. Our interact time divided by 2.5 here. And we're doing this 2.5 because that's our limit. If we go over 2.5, we're over 100%. Because 2.5 divided by 2.5 will be 1. That'll be 100% of our progress bar full. Because that's how the progress bar reads. It goes out of 1. So now we're going to check this. Now, boom. There we go. Now it's set up how it needs to be. So then we're going to do this now. If either one of these comes up as true, which should be fine either way, we just need the 2 separate bars to set up. So now we need to get our reference to our pickup again. Enum, pickup enumerator. We're going to switch. And if you find a simpler way to do this, it's fine. I like I said, there's multiple ways to skin a cat, and this is what works for me. So if this is true, both of them can go to the same location because it won't matter because we have our player reference based off who's calling the function. This is just this has to be done to see which controller is doing it, but the reference should be fine. So for the shield, we'll do set, player reference. Get player reference. We need to get a reference to the shield. Get shield, set static mesh. And our new mesh will be, we need to create a new variable, I forgot. Item mesh. And we're going to call this static mesh. Static mesh, object reference. Compile, save. And we need to open up all of these. These need to be open. We need this open, our strength open. The interact time is fine. The duration needs to be open. The item name should be open. That's fine. This should be open as well. These things need to be open. So now we're going to go to finish this up. We're going to get our player reference, which we already did. Get another one. Set the shield duration. and I didn't make that in the video, I believe. If you didn't see it, I made this. I forgot to. No, I made this a long time ago. Shield duration, so it should still be there for you. If it's not, go ahead and create it. And if you don't want to have this functionality of the shield being put back down after a certain amount of time, then skip over this part because it doesn't reference you or it doesn't refer to you. The important thing about tutorials is you follow what you need to see and then disregard the rest. You modify it to what you need and what works best for you. And then after that, destroy actor with yourself. And now we need to do the same thing for the sword part. We need to get our player reference. We're going to move this here because it's easier to see right here. And instead of the shield, we need the sword. And like I said, I would not recommend doing this if you having like a game, I don't know, Skyrim-esque kind of game where you need a lot of information in one item. Then I wouldn't recommend doing it like this because I'm putting all of the logic in my player character instead of in the sword, making it its own actor. I wouldn't recommend doing it like this if you're gonna do something more complicated than what I'm making. So there's this set static mesh. Set our sword static mesh, and it's also gonna be this because it's just a static mesh, just that simple. Then our attack strength, set that to our attack strength here. And we're going to set our attack speed. We're going to set that, and that's going to match our attack speed here. Boom, boom. And at the end of that, destroy actor. Compile and save. Mashallah. It looks pretty neat. I ain't gonna lie. I was expecting it to be more messy, but it actually looks pretty neat. And I believe we're all good to go. If I'm not forgetting anything. This one. This is the one we just made. So let's go ahead and set this up. We're going to change our static mesh to, let's change it to an axe so I know it's a different one. And we're going to rotate it -90. I'm going to find this. Cool beans. Now that we got that highlighted, we need to go here. No, wait. Yes, here. And we need to change our item mesh to what we just had, the axe. So now when we set it to the axe, it's going to show the axe in our hand when we interact with it, hopefully. Increase the radius, change it to about 100, maybe 125. There's that. And we're going to go back to our default scene or thing right here. Our item name, we're going to call this Axe of Guilt. How about that? Axe of Guilt. Our attack strength is going to be, we're going to call it just straight 3. Our shield duration doesn't matter. Attack speed. This won't change anything yet. I have to go back and edit it. So I'm just going to leave it at 1 for now. It's interactable, so it won't fly away. And this is a weapon, so we're going to call it a sword. I might rename that to weapon because that'll be better in case we do have axes in our game. All right, compile, save, play. So now let's go over to our axe. You see it spinning. When we go over it, it doesn't work. Let me see what's going on. Oh, yeah. I forgot to set the class. Hold on. I forgot to do this. So back in our sword and shield, we have to do this. Set the blueprint class. Where is it? The widget class. Where is it at? Widget class. There we go. Set the widget class to our sword and shield widget. Compile, save. Let's go back and test it again. So now if I overlap with it, Axe of Guilt, attack 3, speed 1. Now if we test real quick, 1, 2, 3 to break that box. Go back, play it again. With our axe, we hold the button to pick it up. Oh, wait a second. Forgot to change that as well. I don't like the way that looks. We need to change both of these to fill up from, where is it at? Advanced. Where is the fill up option at? Bar fill type. There it is. From bottom to top. That's what we want. Compile, save. Go back. So let's pick this up. Boom, we got our axe in our hand. You see it? My controller has a shortage, so just don't even worry about the drifting. And it has stick drift. Boom, 1 hit and it broke it. So that is working. We have our attack or our sword pickup. weapon pickup, whatever you want to call it, working. So now let's test it with our shield. Let's duplicate this. I just did Control D to duplicate. And let's do a test too. Let's put it right here. Let's put it actually closer, because we'll see what happens when they overlap. Because the first one we overlap with is the one that we should interact with first. So let's do a test. Static mesh. We'll call this shield. We'll change it to this one. And let's find it here. And we'll change our, go back. Why can't I find my items now? Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh, I did the wrong thing. Let me just change it manually. Stop being lazy. Shield 5, so it matches. Shield duration, we'll put 10 seconds, even though it doesn't have any functionality right now. Compile, save, play. So we go in here. Now the first thing we interact with is the first thing we should pick up. So we got the Axe of Guilt, and we got, oh wait, my mistake. I have to change this from a sword to a shield, and I have to change the name of it. We'll say the golden shield, whatever. Let's call it that. Save, play. Go over the top, Axe of Guilt. Boom, golden shield. Now, the one we should interact with is the first one, so it should be the axe. Boom, it doesn't do both. And then it switches to the golden shield. So now we have the axe, and hold that, and we have the shield. Mashallah, we've got our sword and weapon pickup working. We're going to add more functionality. I think the next thing we're going to tackle is, I think we should tackle the blocking, because we have the shield now. We should definitely tackle the blocking. Oh, before we go, there's one other thing. I noticed this glitch on the ladder. When we go up here, it continuously, if you hold up, he'll continuously go climbing the ladder no matter what. He's moving forward, but he's climbing. So this is where we go to fix this, because I do remember how we fix this. We need to actually go into our Aki character. Where did I find the fix? Because I deliberately waited to fix it on camera. So we go here. I believe it's right here. We need to change from, instead of setting it back to climbing on blend out, we need to change it down here with the climb transition. That should fix that glitch. Because now it should, whenever we're done transitioning, it'll say we're not climbing. Now let's go back here. Go all the back. I'm holding up. Mashallah, that fixes it. That's a little simple, quick little fix. I didn't notice that, because what the issue was, it was saying it wasn't climbing anymore in the middle of you getting off the ladder. So then you could continuously keep reclimbing the ladder. But alhamdulillah, we're done with this part of the tutorial series. I'll see y'all in the next one, inshallah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.